This is Marsabit TV.
Your appearance before this committee conforms with Article 179A(b) of the Constitution of Kenya regarding the appointment of person to the County Executive Committee member and Section 35 of the County Government Act number 17 of 2012 and Section 4 of Public Appointment Act, Assembly Approval number 5 of 2017. Mr. Kanano, these are the members of County Assembly of Marsabit.
Yes.
These committee members composed of 11-member committee. They are all elected and nominated members of this county assembly. They will ask you some few questions, of which you respond through giving the answers. The time for allocation for this session is 2 hours. In case you need some inquiries, you are free to say. You will be given writing material. I hope the pen and the paper is in front of you. The mode of engagement will be question and answers, of which a member will ask you a question and then you respond in a short term or in a few words, depending on the time. Mr. Kanano, we have not yet received any petition from the public concerning your nomination. So, are you ready? We start?
Yes, I am.
We start by administration of oath. Our legal counsel, please proceed.
I, Adan Guyo Kanano, do solemnly, sincerely and truly swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. I will now wish to introduce the committee members. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Jim Marapicha, also with your board, Deputy Speaker to the County Assembly, and Vice Chair to the committee. Welcome.
Thank you.
Leakono Bernard, MCA Logologo, leader of majority, and a member of this committee.
Ebise Wako, nominated MCA, minority whip, member of the committee.
Buke Diba, MCA Maikono Ward.
Emojo Daniel, MCA Loyangalani.
Bursha Daniel, MCA Life Service, Chief Majority, and a member of this committee.
Korea James Haile, MCA Ileret.
Josephine Leado, nominated MCA, member of this committee.
Thank you.
Leroy Joseph, MCA Karare Ward.
Thank you, honorable members. I will now invite the clerk of the county assembly to introduce members of the staff who are present in this room. I hope at the public gallery, if there is any MCA who is a friend to this committee, who can introduce himself or herself. Continue, clerk. Thank you, members of the staff and honorable members. Mr. Kanano, please forward your documents, the original documents, plus your identity card. The clerk will help you.
All the documents are inside here.
Thank you. Mr. Kanano, please tell us who you are and your journey of life.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, staff from the county assembly and whoever else is inside here. Thank you so much. My name is Adan Guyo Kanano. I'm the current CEC member for Water, Environment and Natural Resources. I'm a Kenyan, a resident of Marsabit County. I come from Sololo Sub-County. I'm married with kids, and I profess Islamic religion. My academic journey started way back in 1976 when I joined Sololo Primary School. And I studied at Sololo Primary School the whole period of my primary education, class 1 to class 7 then. And then I completed Sololo Primary School in 1982. After completing Sololo Primary School, I joined Starehe Boys Center for secondary education. And I was admitted to Form 1 in 1983. I studied at Starehe up to 4th form. I belong to the generation of Kenyans that went through the 7, 4, 2, 3 system of education. So I studied up to Form 4, and then we did exams. And then after exams, I was again admitted to Starehe for the 2 years, the A-level education. And I stayed on at Starehe up to 1988. I completed Starehe in 1988, and I joined the University of Nairobi. Before joining the university, we went for NYS training, as the system was then. Before you go to public university, you go through NYS program, and the program was for like 14 weeks. We were at Gilgil, we were trained. We did training in physical training, we did training in drills, we did training in first aids, and then we did our parade. For those who know past our parade, we did the parade, and I was the best recruit for my company. I was a stick man. The president then, President Moi, awarded me a stick of honor for being the best recruit of my company. Then in 1989, late 1989, we were admitted to the University of Nairobi. I was admitted for bachelor's course in BCom. Then we went through the system. After 1 year, or after first year, it was time for us to pick our major courses that we wanted to study. And on merit, I was admitted to study accounting courses. So in 1992, I completed my degree course at University of Nairobi and graduated with Bachelor of Commerce Accounting option. Of course, after leaving the university, I had to go and look for a job. And I got a job with an NGO called International Islamic Relief Organization in Mombasa. And the offices were in Mombasa, and I worked there as the finance administration manager for 3 years. While working with IRO, the abbreviation for International Islamic Relief Organization, I applied for a job with KCB. And in 1995, they recruited me as a management trainee. And we went for training at Karen. It was 1.5 year training, both classroom training and, of course, going to the branches and training there. Then after that, I was posted to one of the branches in Nairobi. We started from those who might be familiar, from the credit card center. We were the ones who, to keep the long story short, I went through many branches, worked at many branches, and for a good number of years I worked as a branch manager. My final assignment at KCB was implementation of a new computer system, and I was the head of retail team that was implementing that system, its computer system. Then in 2009, I left KCB. I had an opportunity to join Equity Bank as a branch manager. What happened was that I bumped into one of the directors of Equity Bank. Earlier on, I had asked the bank to transfer me to Moyale so that I could have opportunity to work at home and give back to the community. But because they were saying, because of your grade, you cannot go, I had to stay in KCB. When I got this opportunity, I joined Equity Bank. And incidentally, they were opening a branch in Moyale, and they were introducing a social net program, which they wanted us to implement. So I joined them. I went and opened a branch in Moyale. That was in 2009, and I stayed in Moyale, worked there until early 2017. I asked for a transfer to Nairobi because my family was in Nairobi. And they said there was no vacancy in Nairobi. I could go to Garissa where I could commit, and I moved to Garissa. Then, of course, there were the elections. Then I was lucky to apply for a job with the county, and I was given an opportunity to join the county CEC Finance. I stayed on. I worked at finance and planning for 2 years. And around 2019, I think, end of October, I was transferred to Water and Environment and Natural Resources Department, where I have been since then. And that's basically my education, how I went through education and part of work. And of course, all this time when I was working, I had not stopped reading. We need to get knowledge. You know, learning is part of life. So I went back to school through my ways, and after the bachelor's degree, I studied at the Cecm and did MBA. And then I also did MA Economics at University of Nairobi. And recently I also did MBA Strategic Management at Kenyatta University. So basically that is how it has been. And here I am again, want to be retained by the county. I'm thankful to the governor. He has nominated me for this position. And all I want to say is that I'm a man who is committed to his work. I'm a passionate man. I'm a man who wants to give back to the community, and a man who wants to do his work diligently. And if given this opportunity, I will really be grateful and serve the residents of Marsabit County with all the diligence that I have been exhibiting in the past. Basically, Chair, that's my journey.
Thank you, Mr. Kanano. Honorable members, the nominee had introduced himself. Any member who wish to declare any conflict of interest is free to do. Being none, Mr. Kanano,
Yes, sir.
we are starting the program. Having been in financial sector for all those years, from Nairobi University down to Kenya Commercial Bank to Equity Bank, then to CEC Finance, Marsabit County, CEC Water, Marsabit County. It's a long way journey. What is your net worth?
My net worth, I think I had put it in the questionnaire. It's about 42 million. And I've also given the list there. A house in Nairobi, a plot in Nairobi, a motor vehicle. I have a rural house and a few plots here and there. And I also have shares in a private company. That comes to about 42 million.
Is it 4.2 or 42?
42.4.
42.4. Okay. What is your estimated income? Anticipated income?
Anticipated income is from employment,
Yes.
which will basically be my salary.
How much?
Well, in the past we've been paid, I think there's a new scale, which is about 400 per month, so it will come to 4.8. Gross.
Okay. Apart from the house in Nairobi, plot in Nairobi, cars, do you have any other assets? Any shares? Are you trading?
Shares is what I've already put there. It's shares in a private company.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Kanano, have you ever been charged or convicted in any court of law in Kenya?
No.
Are you a member of any political party?
Nope. No, Mr. Chairman.
When were
I
you
don't
voted
know.
last time?
Last time? In the last general election.
Last general election. Did you participate in any, directly or indirectly, in any political activities?
For a party, no. Of course, we're all campaigning for our candidates.
Then by campaigning for a candidate, you have directly or indirectly participated?
I mean, even voting is just part of it.
So you have participated in some?
Yeah, somehow. I think it's good to be sincere. We've talked to our friends, we've talked to our mamas, we've talked to the youth and said, please vote for so and so. That we did.
In line of your duty, have you ever been adversely associated with practice that depicts biasness, favorism, nepotism in the discharge of public duties?
No, Mr. Speaker.
At the banks, at public office, county government of Marsabit?
Nothing whatsoever.
When you are working in CEC Finance?
No.
Mr. Kanano, what do you do different if given this job again for the second time for the CEC Water?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
What difference will you make?
Yeah. I've been in that department for the last 3 years. And there were a number of programs that we started, some of which are donor funded. Others are just our vision as a department. My desire is that if I'm given this opportunity, I will work hard to make sure that whatever programs we started with the donors will bear fruit and that we'll be able to implement these programs for the benefit of the people of Marsabit County.
Okay. Honorable members, the floor is open for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Adam,
Yes.
nominee. Well, welcome and congratulations for the nomination.
Thank you.
I have a few questions
Right.
with me. Number one, as we do understand, we are experiencing acute water shortage over the county. If you will be given this position again, can you promise us, with the help of God and our help,
Yeah, right.
that the residents of Marsabit County will access clean water? Number two, what are some of your achievements in the last regime, which were the helm of the water department? Then another question, some areas have been affected by flooding during rainy season. What is your concern on this? And last, what are the natural resources do we have as a county, and how will you make it more beneficial to the residents of the Marsabit County? These are the few questions. You can respond to them.
Thank you, Honorable Dida. On the issue of acute water shortage in our county, I think we are all aware that we are going through a very severe drought, a drought that has affected our lives, a drought that has affected the livelihoods of our people, and it's a drought that has been causing havoc for the last 3 years. I went to the department sometime in 2019. Since then, we have never known peace as far as the issue of drought and shortage of water is concerned. But we have done our best. We have done our best to make sure that our people get water, to do our best that we respond to the various emergencies that arise as a result of the drought, especially on the issue of access to water. If I'm given the opportunity to come back, I think we all know that in addition to the drought, we also have the issue of scarcity of water in our county. We are in an arid and semi-arid region of this country where rainfall is very low. Rainfall is very low. We don't have any permanent source of water. The issue of climate change is setting in, so even the surface water dries up very fast. And as a result of that, water continues to be a major issue in our county. And in terms of development priorities, water remains a major priority for our people. And as a department, we've also prioritized the issue of water as a major agenda for this county and for this government, so that our people are able to get water despite the circumstances we have, the drought, the scarcity of water, and all that. So to do that, and this is not something that the department can do alone, it's something that we have all collectively with the leaders here, we've been doing together, and I'm really very grateful to the members of this county assembly, especially those whom we were together last term, who have come out and really given us the support that we needed. There are times when we need to pass laws, legislations. There are times when emergency arises and you need even support from the member of county assembly, and people have not hesitated to chip in and assist us. So our program is to continue investing, in development of water storage facilities, that's for surface water, and also exploit groundwater, so that when it rains, we're able to harvest this water. And water harvesting we have been doing for a long time. We have invested in water storage facilities. We have, as a department, in the last 4 years, we purchased over 4,000. And these are, most of it is budget from the wards. We purchased over 4,000 plastic tanks, which are used for roof catchment. We have also invested in dams, mega dams or medium-sized dams, close to 15 of them in this county. We have also invested in water pans, close to 100. There are many. We have done drilling of boreholes, and the county currently has about 200 boreholes. And in the last 4 years, we have dug close to 40 boreholes, some of which are strategic community boreholes. And we've done things like the silting of ponds. We've done things like, underground tanks, rehabilitation of shallow wells. And in some wards, we were even lucky where the ward invested in water boozers. We purchased 2 water boozers through the award priority fund for Sagante Jaldesa. There's one that has not been implemented, but I believe the money is still there for Karari. There's one for Uran. So we have also invested in water boozers. The whole idea being we try to look for, try to harvest water where there is, to exploit groundwater where we were able to do the survey and potential is realized, and we're also able to respond to emergencies. So we'll continue with that program so that, and of course we want to do bigger things, and not just small ponds. We also want to do mega dams, not necessarily just through the county alone, but by seeking support from the national government. Now because of the drought, there's a lot of goodwill out there. The other day they declared a drought a national disaster, and one of the things they will look at is provision of water. We've made a proposal for mega dams, at least one per sub-county, to be done in our county here. And we are hopeful that that will come through. So those are the things that we've been doing, and it will help us avail water to our people. And we'll continue with this program, but there are also other things in the line of governance that we've done. The deployment of smart technology, where we got prepaid meters for community water points. We have prepaid meters for livestock, which we have not implemented, but we have prepaid meters for water boozers, right? And we're looking at cases where we can even deploy that technology, prepaid meters for institutions, even individual households, so that just like prepaid meters for tokens for electricity, we also have prepaid meters for. So for us, it's a big thing, and we've rolled it out to about 60 community water points. A good example of this is the water kiosk that you see out here, the one that is opposite Huduma Center. We have one in Majengo, we have one in Choriako, we have one in Dakabaricha. There's one, if you go along the highway, Moyale Highway, Arobota on this side, we're also doing a prepaid meter there. So we're also investing in systems, smart technologies, so that water is not wasted, so that there's accountability, and all these things we are trying to do so that there is effective and efficient way of giving our people water. The issue of flooding, I think one way to control floods is to do drainage. And the question has always been, we have all this water when it rains, but 2-3 months down the line, we have no water again. So I think one thing that we need to do is to harness or harvest this flood water, and one of the things that we want to do, like the mega dams that we want to do, will definitely be taking advantage of flood water, so that flood water is directed in the right direction, and that we actually harvest this water. And then on the issue of natural resources in our county, one of the biggest natural resources of our county that has given the national government money and has left us behind is the wind power. The wind power is one of our biggest assets. When I was in finance, I used to talk to the senator, so that in Senate they come up with a bill or a law that will give us a portion of that, that revenue. And I think I've been reading in the papers some 2-3 years back where they were saying that they were able to make 7 or 8 billion out of the wind power. But no amount of, nothing comes to the county. Yet the source Even rivers are natural resources, although they are seasonal. And if we're able to harness and harvest the water that comes through the rivers, and a lot of these rivers come from elsewhere, they cross into our country. We have rivers that cross on Moyale side from Ethiopia. We have rivers that cross from Ethiopia into Chalbi. We have rivers that come to us from Samburu. And if we're able to tap this water and harvest and use it for, for irrigation and for storage, so that we're able to use it during dry period, the better. Other small-scale natural resources that people have been harnessing and have been of economic use, especially in the Samis area, is the issue of resin and gum. And the Wamamas, if you go to Marile, you'll find a store on this side where they harvest resin and gum, and they have been able to sell and make economic livelihood out of it. So those are the few that I would mention.
About flood.
Yes.
Areas? Flooding affected areas.
Affected areas, the Moyale area, through Sololo, especially Sololo, is affected. Godoma is affected. We have a river that comes through Malgis here that transverses all the way to down there.
Is there any plan for this?
One of our agenda items or action plans for the coming season or term is to look for a way to harness or harvest this water that come through rivers and floods.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Leader of Majority.
Mr. Karano, karibu.
Asante Moshi.
You'll have some few questions. One, being a CC member for last government, and now you want to be again a CC member. I have one or two questions for you. You have been that docket CC member for water, environment, and national resource for the last 3 years, if I'm not wrong.
You're right.
Yeah. Now, when I look at some roles of CC member, apart from being an executive member, you are also an advisor to the governor. You also advise the governor pertaining to your department. Now, how did you advise the governor, or your boss for that matter, in the issue of pending bills? Because when I look at the constitution, is very clear that people are supposed to be given what's rightfully theirs. And when you deny people their rights, it's criminal. Now, when I look at particularly Logo, the year budget 2019-2020, some projects worth 1.2 million was not implemented up to yet. 2020-2021, projects worth 20 million not implemented up to now. 2021-2022, projects worth 16.5 million not implemented up to now. According to me, being a CC member and advisor to the governor, this is denying people their right. Projects not implemented. The ones implemented, people are not paid. And this under your watch. Actually, Logo is 39.2 million projects not implemented. Forget about projects implemented and not paid. And this under your watch. And we are here again seeking the second chance. What difference will you bring given the chance again? Or how will you sort such mess? Because this is a mess. Thank you.
Thank you, Mashima. And I agree with you that pending bills are becoming harder in implementation of projects. It's also a problem to the departments because on an annual basis we budget, we plan. The assumption is that whatever you plan this year will be implemented and there's a turnaround time, and that whatever asset that you are trying to create, if it's a pan, if it's a borehole, people will be able to use it. But because of this problem of pending bills, I think turnaround time for implementation of projects have been a major issue. And we have been going through this process together. Those who were in the other town, we were in this together. But our advice is that we always, advising and doing two different things. We advise, and the first thing we normally do is that the project must be implemented on time. It's when you start on time that you'll be able to complete in time and be able to pay people on time. And more often than not, I think we've been having that challenge of the projects starting late. It's a slow process. There have been pending bills. That has been the problem. And it's affecting all of us, and it's affecting departments, it's affecting service delivery, it's affecting suppliers. And as to what I'm doing, I can only advise. The CEC for water has no funds of its own to make payments. Payments are done at the treasury. And even the procurement process itself is centralized. It's at the county treasury. The department can only request from here, but authorization and going through the procurement process is something that is done in finance. So this is a real issue. I think it's a concern of everybody. It's a major concern for us also, because as we want to complete these projects and we want to make a difference for our people, but somehow the issue of pending bills has been a problem. And I think this house has an oversight role. It's something that you can help us, take it forward and resolve it. But I must admit it's a problem, Mheshimiwa.
Majority Leader?
Now that you're admitting it's a problem, and one of the biggest problems is centralizing of payment, is it? You're saying that both the procurement and payments done, actually it's the treasury. And before you came to water, you have been in treasury.
Yes.
So am I right to say you've also been a problem?
No.
Because you have been also in the treasury.
You're not right. When I left the treasury, the first year we had minimal pending bills. And the only reason why we had pending bills was not because there was no money or there was a hitch in getting finance, but it's just because there was a delay on the user side, on the departments. Right? And what I did was in the subsequent year was the pending bills balances. If water had a pending bill of 50 million, I gave that budget to water directly. Right? With their list of outstanding projects that payments have not been paid. Such that at any given time, for projects that may not have been implemented, they were able to implement because they are the accounting officers, the budget is with them. Even the second year, it was the same thing that I did. But in the subsequent years, and it's the assembly that approves the budget, pending bills balances were taken to county treasury. So that was the beginning of all the problem that we are currently having. Because one of the issues, Moesh, at this point, although I'm looking for a job and I should not be talking too much, is that it's even difficult to know what our pending bills are. Because there's no proper monitoring. There's no accountability. Figures are just dumped at the treasury, and I'm not seeing any items. If you give people 500 million, what are you giving them for? What are the projects? Why do we have block figures just being given to treasury? Pending bills. Right? How do we have control over how this money is going to be spent? So with this kind of arrangement, we'll never get out of this problem of pending bills in this county. And I think it's a big lesson for the members of the assembly. It's something that you really need to oversight, and it's something that you really need to correct.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Rababuke.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mr. Adan,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the premises of County Assembly.
Thank you.
I have, I think, 3 or 4 questions for you. Of course, all these questions are related to Department of Water. Sometimes back in 2019, there were deaths of animals reported in Eladi as a result of nitrite poisoning. You are aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was attributed to
Nitrate, yes.
high level of nitrate in water. Now this brings one question to my mind. Whether we have any data, biochemical data, pertaining to our boreholes in this county, so that we get to understand quality of water for both domestic and livestock consumption. Do you have any data?
What normally happens is that for this poison in Wesh that happened to, was it a Ladi area?
Yes, it was in the Ladi.
Was as a result of the nitrate thing you talked about. And these were not, the water there was from shallow wells. It was not from boreholes, our boreholes. And normally what happens is that when water is drilled, when borehole is drilled, before people consume that water, testing is done. We test water and confirm that it's fit for both human and livestock consumption. So we did a borehole. We did a borehole some time back in Bururi, in Golole, and it was found that the water was not fit for human consumption, and that borehole was just closed. So we normally test.
Okay, thank you. My second question is on Mawarsco. I think this is a company that was registered, is it 2 years ago? 1 year ago?
No, many years ago.
Many years ago. Is this functional?
It's functional.
Okay.
Honorable Member, what is the abbreviation Mawaso stands for?
Marwasco is Marsabit Water and Sewerage Company.
So the company is up and active?
Yes. Yes,
there are members of the public who are actually complaining that they make monthly payments to this company. I don't know for meters or what.
Yes,
but they are not even getting a drop of water from the said company. What's your take on this?
Thank you very much. We have Marwasco. Marwasco is Marsabit Water and Sewerage Company. It's a water service provider for the county, and its jurisdiction is supply of water and sanitation in Marsabit town. And they have been supplying water, but they have also had their challenges. Before we talk about the challenges, they have also had their successes. They are the ones who run the water kiosks that we have here. I think 6 of them by now. They have also connected water to institutions like schools, prisons, hospital, police station, DC here, and I'm sure even to the assembly here, and many other places. But they have also had problem, and one of the problems is that the reticulation system, the pipeline that is used for distributing water, most of them were destroyed when roads were being constructed in this town. And since then, it has been a challenge for them because the road has been tarmacked. Getting the pipe under the tarmac is a problem, and that has been a big challenge. But we have an ongoing project that this company will eventually be the beneficiary. We have Marsabit Water and Sanitation project that has been going on. It's a 1.4 billion project for water and sanitation for this town. Once it's completed, we'll have more water, and for the first time we'll have sewerage in our homes. You know, we have sewerage lines going to STPs, sewerage treatment plants, and it will improve the quality of life around here. And I'm sure with time, and we've also been talking to the sponsors of the project, which is the national government, so that they look for some additional savings so that we can work on the distribution lines. But unfortunately, they said we wait until the project is complete. If there will be any savings, then they'll give us money. All in all is not lost. Even if that will not be forthcoming, then we'll look for a way of funding the company so that we're able to reach people and give them services.
Thank you. Pertaining to climate change, now it's a reality that climate change is there with us. We are seeing increase in temperatures, we are seeing flash floods, we are seeing recurrence of famine almost after every 2 years or so. As a department, what little effort has the department done in order to combat climate change?
Thank you very much. I think we've been doing addressing this issue of climate change. As you clearly said, climate change and its effects is rendering a lot of harm on us. It's affecting our lives, it's affecting our livelihoods. Food insecurity is becoming a major thing. We're not able to do crop farming because the rains are not there. We harvest water through the ponds, but because of the high temperatures, water dries up very fast and all that. And we've been experiencing a major drought. All this is attributed to the issue of climate change. And like the rest of the world, like the rest of the country, we have to address this problem. And we've been able to do a few things to address the problem. We have come up with the climate change adaptation policy, where we plan to mainstream the issue of climate change in all our planning, the CIDPs, the annual development plans. We intend to, mainstream this. We have also looked at the issue of, educating and creating awareness to our people so that they appreciate the issue of climate change and do adaptation and mitigation and a lot of other activities. And we have also created County Climate Change Act, which really this House assisted us so much in passing it. The entire assembly traveled with us to Nairobi, where we were meeting, the facilitator, the guy who was doing the act for us, drafting the act for us. And with the support of the assembly, we were able to pass this act. With the passing of act, we have been able to attract financing. And in the course of probably beginning of next year, we shall be getting fund from World Bank for us to address some of these issues that come about as a result of climate change. And at world level, we have also created a climate change world planning committee. These are the people who will be making proposals on what projects, as far as climate change is concerned. They will develop the projects so that we're able to build resilience. And the resilience in this case is probably, if it has been problem of water, we might need to do dams. We might need to look for exploit groundwater and this kind of thing, afforestation and all that. So we have a committee on the ground, and one of the members of that committee is the ward manager, right? So our leaders, the MCS, will be also in the picture as to what is happening. And others are people like ward administrator. We will have an environment guy there. So these are the things that we are doing at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Buke. Honorable Burcha.
Yes, sir.
Karibu.
Asante.
I have some few questions for you. One, please highlight key notable or outstanding challenges that will require an urgent solutions based on your previous experience in the last regime. My second question is, you have been in finance department as CEC. What is your take on that transfer from that lucrative department to water? Do you think it's a normal punishment, or? My third question is, we have passed the water bill. Have you seen any change, any impact that the water bill has brought to our county? The fourth question is, now that we have seen some sign of rain, what plans do you have to make sure that that rainwater will not go to waste? My last question is, maybe you can answer those ones first.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Last one is, how many boreholes are there in this county? Yes.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. On the issue of key challenges, I think challenges are everywhere. And I told you for the last 3 years we've been having this drought in the county that may put a lot of pressure on us to deal with the problem of water scarcity. Water is scarce, and we're looking for water, it becomes a problem. And we ended up doing a lot of water tracking some time back, and that has put a lot of pressure on us. It has put a lot of pressure on us in terms of resources. That has been a problem. And finance always remains a problem. Finance is never adequate. You want to do so much, but money is not there. You want to do so much, but you have very little finance and you have to wait. So finance has been a major challenge. And we've also had the issue of COVID, where our budgets were taken away. Was it 2020? Yeah, our budget was taken away and they were diverted to more priority areas. That has been a challenge. We also have challenge because of water being a problem in all parts of our county. There's so much demand for our service, and we have one crane machine that is used by our BRRT, Borehole Rapid Response Team, the guys who go and repair boreholes. And there are times when it breaks down. There are times when there are lesamis and problems are occurring this other side. There are times when they go to one side, they were not able to fix it the same day. They have to stay on. In the meantime, other places, people are stranded, that kind of thing. That has been a problem. And we also have old water boozers in our department. Would have wished to have new ones so that we're able to respond to this problem of water shortages when we need to do water tracking. But the old boreholes the old water boozers keep on breaking down, so that has also been a problem. Then, just like the boreholes, the technical staff are also aging in the department. So the engineers, the plumbers, people who have been in service for a very long time and they're nearing their retirement. And as a department, we are working on succession planning. And we have made our request to County Public Service Board. But somehow, because of we are all aware of the operation, that has been a problem because we have not received approval. That has also been a problem. So there have been challenges here and there, generally. Then on my transfer, this is a tricky question from County Treasury. And I just want to say that, of course, I can't give you an answer as to why it happened. I will take it as a normal transfer. And I will also take it that as far as I'm concerned and my work ethics, County Treasury is just like any other department for me. And when I was a County Treasurer, I worked hard. I made sure that people were able to get services. I made sure that departments were being facilitated. I made sure that our operation did not come to a halt because of money issues. When I was in that department, we really planned to make sure that we did not have much problem with the cash flows. And you guys have been around, Mheshimiwa. I think we ran the department well. As to why my transfer took place, I have no idea. But my reaction is that I took it as a normal transfer. In stride, I left. And when you are transferred, normally we all belong to some clan WhatsApp pages. And guys who are mourning on my behalf that I've been transferred from finance, I told them, guys, I'm happy to be transferred. It's okay. Where I went, I will be able to serve our people. So I took it in stride, and I want to take it as a normal thing. Then on water bill, I think one of the things that the Water Act did was the creation of the likes of Marwasco's water service providers, and Marwasco is making an impact. I think it's good for our people. We are also looking at the issue of establishment of water service fund, because money is a big problem. We want to do something. At the end of the day, we are depending on two sources. One, what the people in wards will say. Wards are given money, they are given 50 million. And you have like 4 to 5 locations, wanna divide. So one location is left with 10 million. Then they have water, health, blah, blah, all these things that they want to do. So what do? They give you 3 million for water projects. At that rate, when shall we ever get anywhere? And here we are talking about harvesting, rainwater, harvesting flood water, doing mega projects and all this. But if our budget is a 3 million that comes from the what? 5 million, we'll get nowhere. But if we are able to operationalize this water service fund, then it means the department will be given allocation. In a year, we might be given 200 million. And of course, you're given money against the project that you're proposing. You're given money. With that, we'll be able to do major projects that will be able to make a difference in the lives of people. Then it's raining, and what plans are we making? Up to this point, we've been dealing with emergencies. We've been having this long drought, and what we have been working all along on for the last almost 2 years is dealing with emergencies, doing water tracking, repairing boreholes, repairing boreholes, desilting dams, and I think even last year alone we did close to 10 boreholes. All this is of course in response to emergencies that we are going through, and we are hoping that the many dams that we have desilted, when it rains it will get filled up and water will be available for people. As to number of boreholes in the county, our statistics is close to 200 boreholes for the last 10 years.
The functional one or the...
Majority of them are functional. And in fact, one other thing that I want to add is that as a department, we don't have major issues outstanding. Borehole has broken down for the last 2-3 months. We've not been able to fix. Those are rare cases. In some cases, of course, you do a borehole, because of overuse, it gets dried up. So we have such scenarios. But a functioning borehole, it breaks down, we always attend to it and fix it. And God has been on our side.
Thank you, Honorable Burcha. Honorable Eruk.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Mr. Kananu.
Yes, sir.
Kananu or Kanono?
Kanano.
Kanano. Okay. I'm the MCA Karare Ward.
Right.
There is this allocation of 2.5 million of water booster, because I've just had you
12.5
mentioning 12.5 million. Budget 2021-2022 financial year.
You're right.
The last communication the resident of Karare got from the last MCA was the booster was procured and undergoing branding. Right? As a sitting CC of water, give me the updates of this project and exact position of that water booster. Because you told the panel that you are there for the last 3 years. And then the second question is, after the community allocated the budget for the water booster, why all this delay for the 3 years down the line? You first give me those responses.
Thank you. It's true that Karari, along with Uran, budgeted for water boosters, and to date, the water boosters have not been delivered. The other thing is that they have not been paid for, and as where the budget is, I believe it's in pending bills. It's something that you need to verify when the budget proposal comes. So these water boosters are still with the bodybuilders. They have not come to us. We have not paid for them. The budget is in pending bills. I think it's something that needs to be followed up. As for the delay, what normal...
Mr. Kanano, you are saying the money was allocated for water booster?
Yes.
And then the same was submitted to your ministry department?
It was in our department.
In your department?
Yes.
Then you procured the water booster? Then the money was not paid from the treasury? Or...
Yeah, this is how it goes.
Yes.
Of course, when the budgeting was done, it was underwater. And it was a budget for Karari Ward, right? What is the financial year, Moesh? Some 2 years ago?
2020, 2021, 2022.
No, it can't be 2022. It's 2020, 2021.
Yeah, 2020, 2021.
It's outstanding for 2 years now.
Correct, yeah.
It's outstanding for 2 years. So it was budgeted. The budget was under our department. We did requisition, request for purchase. It went to procurement. So when it reached there, it goes through procurement. And I think the procurement guys did the awarding, they awarded. The contract was given. But when it reached payment stage, it was never paid. So unlike other goods and services, if we do procurement in this town, people give you the goods or they do the service for you and wait for payment.
Yes.
But the bodybuilders, the car vehicle manufacturers there or bodybuilders don't do that. It's cash first, pick your vehicle. And that's exactly what they did for Sagante vehicles. So we have that challenge. Okay. That money, of course, after 1 year now, the budget lapses and moves into pending bills. And pending bills, as I said, is under finance. So when the budget comes, please scrutinize and find out and ask for it.
Okay.
Ishmaeliado.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mr. Adam Buyo, Karibu, thank you for coming. I have a few questions for you. One of the number one question is there a waste management system in Marsabit town? A waste management system.
Pardon, Mheshimiwa?
Waste management system.
Waste management and disposal system in Marsabit town. Is Marsabit town a dirty town or is it clean? And by extension, any other town in Marsabit County? And then my second question to you is, you've been CEC since 2017. What has been your relationship with the county assembly? Your relationship, how has it been with the county assembly? Then my last question to you is, Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya provides values, national values and of governance.
Right.
Do you uphold those values and principles? And what are some of those values and principles? Thank you.
Thank you so much. On the issue of whether we have waste management system, partly we do. For solid waste management, it's under the municipality, the urban department, and every morning you'll find some guys on the streets where mamas put on white coats and there's a truck that collects rubbish. So for solid waste management, there's no much problem, it's done. And I believe it's done every day. For liquid waste, people are just using their septic tanks. People are using their septic tanks. But with this project of Marsabit Water and Sewerage Company, we shall be able to provide waste management system for liquid also. So that's the current position. And then my relationship with the county assembly, I've never had any issue with the county assembly. I have actually received a lot of support from the county assembly, even when I was in finance. Never had any problem. My chairman then was Daudi. We had a cordial relationship. I've never had a situation where our budget was deferred and was not passed on time. So I think we worked very closely and we were able to do our work well. And I appreciate them for that. For the 3 years I've been in water, it's the same thing. One of my committee members is Honorable Lekano, and we worked very closely, and there has been no problem. And I'm hoping that once I'm confirmed to this position, our good relationship will continue. But it has to continue because we are all here to serve our people. We are working for one objective, and we should cultivate good relationship. National values and principles, yes, it's there in the Constitution. And you want a list?
At least two.
At least two is equity, right? Equity, fairness, peace, yeah.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Liado. Emojo.
Chair, to ask that how will you ensure there is a cordial relationship with other relevant departments in the national government? Two, as a CEC for water, environment, and natural resources, how will you ensure a situation where you found a company was improperly disposing of its waste product? Thank you.
On the issue of cultivating good relationship, I think counties, they have an umbrella body called Council of Governors, where issues that come from the national government is received and passed to counties. The same umbrella organization also receives input from their issues, proposals, or even complaints from the counties. It comes to Council of Governors, and then it's escalated to relevant government department. So we'll be working through Council of Governors, and we have a caucus for water, environment, and natural resources, and we've been able to push a lot of our agenda through COG on even the issue of financing that I was talking about for climate change. We've been able to push our agenda through COG. And then on how to punish people who pollute, I think these are people who pollute water sources and that kind of thing. There's a prescription for this, that you're not supposed to pollute waterways, you're not supposed to pollute water, and there's a prescribed action that will be taken against you. It's there in our Water Act.
Mheshimiwa, you're done? Mheshimiwa Korea?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Karibu, Mr. Kanano. Let me ask you this question. What do you think is the most important thing that water resource specialists can do to protect the environment? That's one, and then the second one is, last time you were CC Finance, and now in the last 3 years you have been the CC for water. Well, you were in the finance and now in the water. Yeah.
Thank you, Vice. Done, On the issue of protecting environment, and I think it's a requirement. We do the same thing. Anytime we do, let's say, a borehole, this AI, it's a rule, it's a law. If you have to undertake any development project, there must be environmental impact assessment. Then on the issue of how I've done things differently, of course the functions are different. I was in finance then. Finance is just supposed to be a support unit. Finance is meant to facilitate and support other departments. Other departments are the ones which actually execute, give services to wananchi, execute projects and that kind of thing. So because the functions are different, of course, my approach to work, my work is also different. And in water, just like in finance, I'd made sure that I was on top of things and I was able to do my job to the best of my knowledge, putting into consideration the fact that I'm here to serve people, the fact that I must give my best.
To you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Korea. Honorable Vice.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kanano, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
My first question is, I'd like you to provide an example of a time when you successfully resolved a conflict between two different groups regarding the use of water source. Water source being a main cause of problems, conflicts. Number two, I was to ask about the transfers, but now I still have a question about that, because you have very many years of experience in finance, but despite that, you have been transferred to water, and I would like to know, do you think you would be able to serve the county better if you were in finance? That's the question. The other one is, what are your future plans in this position, especially Marsabit having gone through water problems for the longest time? We still have a lot of problems concerning water.
Right.
What are your future plans? How are you hoping to solve those problems? Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. On the issue of resolving conflicts are there. People keep on, water is a scarce resource. And anytime you are dealing with something that is scarce, there are vested interests. From time to time, conflicts arise. I had a major one. I don't want to use it as an example, but I had a major one somewhere in the Samis, where a community who reside in two different areas had conflict over a borehole, where when one side is saying this borehole is one ward, group of people from this ward is saying it's their borehole. The one on this side is also saying it's their borehole. And I think at one time, the operation of the borehole was stopped because of the conflict, and the conflict had escalated to a level where it could, bring, some fight, and action had to be taken. So the issue was cascaded to my office, and of course, as usual, we call the parties, we call the leaders, we call the administrators, and I called the sub-county water water manager, water officer, and we had a round table discussion, not once, several times. And of course, with that kind of thing, you explain what the situation is, you listen to this other side, you listen to that side, and you don't sit there as a judge, but you also surround yourself with others, the leaders on your side as the listeners, the administrators there, the water guy there, my CEO there, and we listen to all sides, and we try to come up with an amicable solution. And after several attempts, we succeeded. So the best thing, whenever a dispute arises, you don't rule with an iron fist, but bring people together, listen to them, right? Try to balance, try to make it a win-win for both parties, so that nobody leaves there disgruntled, and that will bring back the problem again if people are not happy. So you try to resolve the matter. My finance experience, Moish, you're asking if I could serve the county better in finance than in water. Well, that's a matter of public opinion, but I think I'm doing my best in water. And I don't want to, I've been in water for the last 3 years now. I've even forgotten about finance. I can only tell you stories about finance, but I have no idea what is happening currently. Things might be different, right? So I'm in water. I've been in water for the last 3 years. It's okay. I'm doing my best. And then my future plans is seeking a confirmation here after nomination. I wish to continue serving the county up to the end of my term, and continue giving service to the people, and continue giving back to the community.
Thank you, Honorable Bise. Honorable members, I think we have exhausted the question. Mr. Kanano.
Yes, sir.
Last but not the least, what will happen if by any chance maybe this county assembly revoke your nomination?
Please don't.
How will you take that? How will you take that?
I pray you don't. I pray you don't.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Kanano, thank you so much for your time. Now, you give us your closing remarks. What do you want to tell these members of County Assembly? Yes.
I just want to thank the committee here for this opportunity to appear before you and answer your questions. It has been a very encouraging discussion, and I'm really happy with the way we've had discussions here, and I just want to thank you all for that, and I beg you to confirm me.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, nominee Mr. Kanano. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Now, the clerk.
This is Marsabi TV. This is Marsabi TV.